Hi, welcome to video number 3 of Rion training. My name is Jyotishka. In this video I will be talking about how to create report in Rion. So far in the other videos I have talked about what is Rion, fundamentals of Rion and how to navigate through reports. So here we will be focused on how to make a report and then how to use them. So I have opened a browser. Again here it is Chrome. Here I will give the APAC2 link of Capillary. Once I have logged inside Capillary, I have changed the organization to Rion data and I will click on analytics to go to Rion. So you are already familiar with the interface as per explained in the last videos. So I will be jumping on to the library. So library is the place from where all the important things happen. So library is the most crucial part of Rion, where you have 4 categories: charts, custom dimension, metric dimension and KPIs. Custom dimension and metric dimension I will be skipping in this training. These are advanced topics which I will be discussing on the next video. There is 2 options which are charts and KPI. If I go to charts, it will load all the charts that are present for this particular brand. Now as I already told you before that every report is a collection of charts. So all the charts are stored in a warehouse. So this library is like a warehouse where you have stored all the charts. You can search the chart by name. So if I write gateway, I will get the charts which has the word gateway in their name, or I can also search alternatively through KPI. So let's say I want chart where KPI total transaction is used. So these are all the charts where total transaction is used in the KPI. As you can see here, total transaction is used for transaction by date. Here it is used. All the charts which has total transactions is getting shortlisted. I can also further shortlist by saying okay, I want all the charts having total transaction as well as split by the date. There is no chart. Let me try with this date. So if I select on this, then hierarchy is activated. That's why this chart has come. This chart is using date as a hierarchy. Initially I was selecting the values inside in which it was specific to that month or specific to that date. Here I am selecting date. So it has come as a hierarchy. So this chart is date wise total transactions. Before you go into charts, you should first go to KPI. KPI is a total list of all the KPIs that is there in Rion. So far there are around 255 KPIs in Rion, which are categorized under transaction, points, coupon, customer, campaign and footfall. So if I expand transactions, you will see lots of KPIs at a transaction level. So since there are so many KPIs, I don't expect you to learn about those KPIs in an instant. Take your time and explore the KPIs. So all the KPIs are also accompanied by the description. So let's say I want all the KPIs which has the word sales. I will type sales here. And I see a lot of KPIs which are having sales word, multi-transaction customer sales, return sales, repeat sales, so many kind of sales. Few KPIs might be already familiar to you and few KPIs might be new to you. So as time progresses, you will come to know about all the KPIs that Rion supports. For example, I go to member sales. If you don't know what is member sales, the description will be given here, which we hope should be sufficient to make you understand what member sale is. If you have doubt in member sales, you can ping me or Viplav Sharaf or Harsh Vardhan, who can help you in understanding how these KPIs are defined. So let's say I want to go to product sale. The definition is given here. It's about line item amount getting summed up. Then first transaction sale. The KPI name itself suggests that this is something to do with first transaction of a customer. So KPI names are kept as intuitive as possible so that you don't get confused, and based on your requirement you have to search the KPIs here and see whether Rion already has the KPIs or not. So like transaction has the KPIs, similarly I have KPIs under points. Now this sales word is happening across multiple KPIs across multiple categories. So here it is about extra sale, for coupon it is redemption sales. So if you type whatever KPI name here, all the partial matches shows under all categories. I will remove sales. If I go to points, I will see points related KPIs here, points issued, points returned, points redeemed. Again, the description will be given here, which should be sufficient for you to understand what this KPI is. So the main learning point of view should be to understand all the KPIs here and their description. If you don't know all the KPIs, that is still fine. You should have some kind of requirement in your mind when you're making the report and explore through the KPI here. So here I will be giving you an example of a report making. So I want to make a report at store and month level, registration and sales. Clear? I want store and month level, registration and sales. Let me make sales as member sale. I want to track registration and member sales at store and month level. How can I do that? Before that, I need to see whether I have a KPI called member sales in my list or not. So I'll type member sales and see if I am getting a KPI or not. Yes, there is a KPI called member sale. Cool. Let me see if I have KPI called registration or not. Yes, there is a KPI called registration. Now KPI names are registration, member sales. These are names that we have given, and it is not necessary that the client will be comfortable with these names. Maybe registration is known as enrollment for them, or maybe sales is known as business for them. So Rheon can overwrite the KPI names here to a customizable name which a brand wants to see. That is called KPI overriding, and that is a feature in Rheon that we can support. By default, all the names that we have decided as capillary terminologies are shown here. So I have the two KPIs that I am looking for. I will go to charts and I will click on create chart. Once I go to chart, I will select the KPI here. KPI should be registration and member sale. If I click on apply, now itself what happens is that there is no dimension selected. As you can see, 0 dimension selected is written. I have already told you what is dimension mean. Dimensions are those by which we split the KPI. So if no dimension is selected, I am expecting only total registration and total member sales. As you can see, there is no dimension. These are direct numbers. So this is the chart preview. What we are trying to make here is a chart, and this is a chart preview which always works on last 30 days of data. Once you put this chart in a report, then you can play around with dates. So since there is no dimension here, let me add a dimension. The original requirement was I want to track registration and member sales at month and store level. So I should have 2 dimension. Month, go to store hierarchy, select store, apply. So you have your report now. Month wise, store wise, registration and member sales. Now I can save this chart as demo chart for Rheon training and save it. Now this chart is part of this library. As I already told before, this library contains all the charts made by all the reports in Rheon. So now this is part of library. Now we can borrow this chart to make our report. To make our report, we will click on this plus sign. I will write the report name as demo report for Rheon. I will click on add and remove charts. The moment I click on add and remove chart, this pop-up opens where I can select the chart. Now, as I told before, you can search through the chart by typing the name of the chart. So I will type the name demo. I am expecting the chart coming up. So this is the exact chart that I have just now made. It has the word demo. That's why this chart is coming. Let's say I have forgotten the name of the chart, but I roughly remember that this chart has registration KPI. As you can see, this chart has again come up because it has registration KPI. Along with this, more other charts have also come which has registration KPI, but I am able to see this. I can even narrow down to say that okay, I want charts which has registration and one of the dimension as store name. So now I am able to select this chart again. So there are various ways you can browse through your chart library if you know roughly what was the content of the chart, maybe a rough name of the chart because it supports partial search, maybe, or you can select a KPI or dimension to select a chart. Click on add. Clicking on add will add this chart in a report here. Now this chart can be expanded, contracted based on your requirement. It can be moved around. When you are saving the chart, you have these options. So as you can see, these option does not contain standard report category because standard report category has reserved chart that we have already made. I have discussed about standard report before. So this is a custom report. That's why you have to use one of these categorization. So let's say I save this under sales. I save this chart. Now this report is ready for use. Now I can play around with date widget as I discussed before. I can also add a dimension, new dimension. Let's say I want to see this as part of loyalty. I can do that. So now I am just doing report navigation as taught to you during last video. So I can do whatever I want with this chart now. Last thing is that this chart is right now private to me. That means this chart cannot be seen by any of the capillary employees plus external customer who has access to this particular organization. For them to see this chart, you need to publish this report. Unless you publish the report, nobody will know that a report is already existing in this brand. So you need to publish. Once you publish this report now becomes visible to everyone and everybody can start using it. You can remove the visibility by revoking the access by just saying unpublish. As you can see, you can also delete the report and the other properties of charts which I have already discussed before. Let me go back and search for this report again here. Same. Let's say I want to add more charts in this report. This report is good for this particular chart, but I want to have more information. I will go to edit. I will click on add remove chart, and assuming you already have made those charts for which additional requirement is there, let's say this chart was made by you, just like I have made the previous chart. You can add this chart. You can add few more charts which are required by you. Click on cross. You have these reports here now. You can rearrange by putting here, so this will come down automatically. So the icons rearranges themselves to make way, just like Android icons in phone or iPhone. Once I save the report, my report now also contains those charts that I have selected. Now let's say I have a requirement where I want month to be present on top of the KPI and store here. So I am kind of trying to do a pivot of this chart where my month will be on top and store will be here. I can do this by going to library back, go to chart. I will search for the chart which is right in the top. Go to edit. Now let's say I put this on column, this on row, apply. As you have seen, the month has gone on top with the KPI below. Let's say I want sales KPI first and registration later. I will move this here. This will come here, this will go here. So this has come here, registration has gone back because this has come down. Similarly, I could have got month here and store on top. So as you can see, the pivot is working. I will put month back here, apply and save it. Moment you do any changes in chart, it automatically reflects in the report where this chart is borrowed. So I'll go back now and show you. So this report I had created using demo chart for Rheon training, which I had just now made a pivot of, and as you can see, the report already has the updated chart. So whatever changes you want to do, you do it at a chart level, and then that chart wherever is used in report, those reports gets changed automatically. That's it about report creation. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.